Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Hari Shewa IBBI Valuation Cracker. Myself is Rajesh S. Wadhwani. I am registered valuer in land and building asset class. Today, we will learn correlation and regression. Now, let us start with correlation. What is correlation? Correlation word can be divided two parts. Co-relation. Co means together. Relation means connection. So we can tell correlation shows how two things are related to each other. In correlation, how two variables are related to each other. Example, study times and marks in exam. If two variable, one is study time, second is marks. If you more study, more marks. Less study, less marks. This is the relation. If you study more, marks may increase. If you do more investment, you more profit. If you watch TV more, marks may decrease. Type of correlation. If there are two type of correlation, positive correlation and negative correlation. If you study more, marks may increase. More investment, more profit. These are the positive correlation. If one variable increase, other variable is also increase. This is a positive correlation. In negative correlation, one variable increase and second variable go in opposite direction. That is called a negative correlation. In negative correlation, uh, example is more screen time, less sleep. If you see more pictures, movies in the TV, you will get less time for sleep. In scatter diagram, we can show this is the positive correlation. These are two variables. Two variables are going increasing. In negative correlation, one variable increase, one variable is decrease. It is going a downside. If no correlation, no relationship between the variables, say example, hair color and intelligence, no relationship. Shoe size and intelligent, no relationship. So there are three type of correlation. One is positive correlation. You see in the scatter diagram. This is the positive correlation. Other is negative correlation. And third one is the no correlation. In positive correlation, in positive perfect correlation coefficient is the R equal to +1. Correlation coefficient is denoted by the R. Positive correlation coefficient is +1. Negative correlation coefficient is the -1. In no correlation coefficient is the 0. Correlation, we can say, is a statistical technique used to determine and relationship between two variables, how one may predict or related to each other. Key features. Type of correlation. There are three type of correlation: positive correlation, negative correlation, and no correlation. In positive correlation, both variables increase together. In negative correlation, one variables increase and other will be decreased. Negative one variable will increase and other variable will decrease. No correlation, no relationship between the variables. Between two variables, degree of association is called a correlation coefficient. It is also called Pearson correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient measure the strength and direction of the relationship. Correlation coefficient is measure the strength and direction of the relationship. It vary -1 to +1. Correlation coefficient vary -1 to +1. +1 perfect positive correlation. -1 is perfect negative correlation. 0 is a no correlation. We can understand with this diagram also. If no correlation is 0, 0. Perfect correlation is a +1. Is perfect negative correlation is the -1. From 0 to -1, it will start weak to strong. And positive side, it will start weak to strong. Correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient is a statistical value that indicates the strength and direction of relationship between two variables. It ranges from -1 to +1 and show whether the variables move together positive in opposite direction or have no correlation and move together. That is called a positive correlation. In if move opposite direction, that is called a negative correlation, and have no correlation. In simple terms, it tells us how closely two variables are related, how two variables are moving. Range of correlation coefficient. If R is 0, no correlation. No connection between variables. R is 0, no correlation means no connection between variables. True size and intelligent, no connection. If coefficient R is less than 0 but greater than 0.25, then weak correlation means very slightly relationship, not useful for prediction. Age and preference for online shopping. Age and preference on online shopping having very weak correlation. If R correlation coefficient is greater than, is less than or equal to 0.25 and less than 0.75 means moderate, intermediate correlation. Some connection, moderate level of predictability. So you can predict practice time and skill improvement. If you study more skillness. This is a moderate cyber relation. No, it depends on the intelligence also. If you practice more time you study, there is a chances you will get a more numbers. If R coefficient is less than 1 but greater than or equal to 0.75, that is a strong correlation. Strong linear relationship value change predictably. Height and weight. If more height, more weight. That is a strong correlation. If R is +1 or -1, that is called a perfect correlation. In perfect correlation, if one variable is changed, other will also change. Say, if perfect correlation is +1, salary and tax. If you are increase the salary, your tax will be increased. That is the perfect positive correlation. If you more salary, more tax. Example for negative correlation. -1 denoted by R coefficient is -1. Distance traveled versus fuel left. If you move more distance by car, more distance you cover, 100 kilometer, 200 kilometer you will cover, your fuel will decrease. It depends on the distance, how much distance you travel, accordingly fuel will decrease. That is called the perfect correlation. Correlation depend direction of relationship. Positive if both variable move in the same direction. That is a positive correlation. R will correlation coefficient will be greater than 0. Negative correlation. Variable move in opposite direction. One move positive direction, other will move in negative direction. That is called a negative correlation. Here correlation coefficient R will be less than 0. Application example in economics, relationship between income level and spending. Education, our study and test scores. Health, smoking habits and lung capacity. This is the correlation. Now we will start the regression. What is regression? Regression is a statistical method used to predict the value of one variable based on the known value of another variable. Regression, if you know one variable, then you can find out the second variable. It helps us understand how one variable affects the other and is widely used in forecasting and data analysis. How it works? Suppose a factory use a machine to make a candy. You want to track how machine setting affect candy weight. Say in day 0, after calibration, day 0, when you want candy of 10 grams, day 0, day 0, 1, 2, you have prepared, manufactured the candy. Average weight is coming 10.05 grams. Then machine is working fine, good. If day 4, weight is 10.25 grams, machine may be slightly off. Day 7, weight is 11.5 gram, machine likely need fixing. Here more than 11% extra candy weight is going. So owner will be in loss side. So with this relation, with regression analysis, owner will know on 6th day or 5th day, 6th day he has to do the machine calibration. He decide the procedure manufacture of the candy. After every 6th day, he has to do the calibration so that candy weight will be the perfect. By observing this trend, you can predict future candy weight or decide when maintenance is needed, when calibration is needed. This is what regression helps with. The formula of regression equation is equal to y is equal to a plus b x. This equation you have learned in class 9. If you know one variable, you know x and a and b that are coefficient, then you can calculate the other variable y. Y dependent variable, for one we predict like candy weight. X independent variable, the one we know like day of machine setting, which day we have do the calibration. A intercept, value of y when x is 0. B slope, rate at which y change for each unit of x. The best fit line, this is called a regression line, is created to show how y change as x change. This helps in making prediction. A real life example of regression predicting rainfall. You can use past weather condition like temperature and humidity. In humidity is change, and if this much humidity, so rainfall will be there. You can predict from the past data. Predicting sales based on how much money is spent on advertisement, you can predict how many products will be sold. You are doing advertisement of say 1 lakh rupees, then you know that your product will be sold approximate 10 lakhs rupees. If more advertisement, more your sales will grow. You will do the advertisement of 2 lakhs, there is a chances your sale will go up to 20 lakhs. Comparison of correlation and regression. Definition. In correlation, measure the extent and direction of linear relationship between two variables. If you know the two variables uh, with the correlation, you will measure the extent and direction of linear relationship. This is positive correlation, negative correlation, no correlation. A positive correlation, what is the correlation coefficient? It is perfect, intermediate, or weak correlation. Regression, predict the value of one variable dependent based on another variable. You know one variable, you can predict, you can calculate other variables. Coefficient R value. The coefficient, the correlation coefficient range from -1 to +1. Many times 1 mark MCQ came. What is the coefficient of correlation? It is between -1 to +1. Regression, not represented by a coefficient like correlation, but use a best fit line. It will not represent like a regression coefficient, but is use a best fit line. Similarity, this is symmetrical. Correlation between X and Y is the same between Y and X. If there is a correlation X and Y, then Y and X relation will be also the same. Unsymmetrical, asymmetrical. Regression of Y on X is not the same as X on Y. Effect of scale and origin of change. 1 mark MCQ came many times on this. What is the effect of a change of origin? Independent of scale or origin. Correlation is independent. There is no relationship with the scale and origin. It is between only two variable relationship. It is not depend on the scale and origin. Changing the unit or origin does not affect the correlation. But regression dependent on the scale. Regression line change with scale, but is independent of origin shift. It is not related with the origin, but regression line change with the scale. If scale change, regression line will be changed dependent on the scale. Purpose, quantify the degree of association, not for predication. You can quantify the degree of association, not for predication. Predict one variable based on another. In regression, you can predict one variable with another. If you are having the past rainfall data, you can predict it. Useful for forecasting. Relationship, measure only strength and direction of the linear relationship, positive or negative. However, regression show how much y change with the x, represented by the equation y is equal to a plus bx. And one more point is given in syllabus, multiple correlation coefficient. It measures how well two or more independent variables together explain or predict a dependent variables. It is used in multiple regression also and tell us how closely the predict value match actual value. It may represent by method of correlation analysis by graphical. First is scatter diagram, second is the graph method. This is the scatter diagram. From this diagram, you can know this is a positive correlation, negative correlation, no correlation. In graph method, both variable separate line. This is variable. This is a variable A. This is the variable B. And second, mathematical representation. Carl Pearson coefficient. In correlation, Carl Pearson given the coefficient that is measuring linear relationship between two continuous variables. Second, rank correlation. This is called a Spearman's. That is rank correlation. Ranking data when actual value not used or data is qualitative. Concurrent deviation method. Quick method when plus or minus of change are available. Least square method for estimating best fit line used in the regression. Carl Pearson method is widely used and also called a product moment coefficient in correlation. This was our topic, correlation and regression. This is completed. Now we have to pass the exam. We have to do practice of the MCQ. These are the MCQ. I prepared separate short video on YouTube and uploaded of static subject. You can go through the short video and practice the MCQ. Here, if you want to see, you can pause the video and solve the MCQ. This is first four. MCQ 5 and 6. MCQ 7 to 10. Just like what is the correlation is said to be positive when two variables move in the same direction. Yes, this is the correct answer. But you have to read all the options. When two variables move in the opposite direction, no, this is negative correlation. When two variables do not change, no, this is not related. And none of this, then our answer is the A. This type you have to do practice. You calculate what is the median of the following number. First, you put table in ascending order. Then you calculate the mid value. You first count it, that odd number or even number. Accordingly, you do the formula and calculate the median. 13. What is the cumulative frequency up to class 13 and 14 in the following data? 10 to 12 class 5, 20 to 30 class 9, 30 to 40 class frequency 6, 50 to 60. So cumulative frequency will add up. So 5 is the cumulative frequency of 10 to 20. 20 to 30 cumulative frequency is the 5 plus 9, 14. 30 to 40, up to 30 to 40, it will add 6 also. So cumulative frequency 30 to 40 class is the 5 plus 9 plus 6. Answer will be the 14. D is the answer. Same way, graph, class interval, how to measure it. Mid value class mark is calculated. How mid value is calculated? Upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2 of every class. If the class is the 10 to 12, the mid value 10 plus 20 divided by 2 is the 15. Please refer my short videos. I already uploaded economic subject, bookkeeping and accounting, general law, insurance, and static subject. First, I cover all common subject. Thanks, my dear friends. If you find this video is helpful, please subscribe our channel Harish Shewa IBBI Valuation Cracker so that you will get more update, and like the video and do not forget to comment. Thanking you.